here in the middle of the 46807 zip code in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and some exciting things are happening around here. People are getting together and they're having conversations about how great this area is to live in, to work in, to go to school, and they're talking about how it could be even better in the future. And as they're talking, those very conversations are starting the change to happen. And as we continue with those conversations, we're going to then pull people together and say, as a group, what do you want to see happen in '07? Let's come up with a unified vision from the bottom up, from the people that live here, of how great this community can be in the future. And then let's get some actions and make it happen.
This is a gem of a neighborhood. I just love it. I love all the people here. I've not had any problem with anyone. Our neighbors are always so nice. It's great. I love it.
We're here in the Friendly Fox, and this is an important gathering place in 46807, and it's a coffee shop that serves some great foods, and people come here, hang out, have their conversations. A few years back, it was just an abandoned brick building. It smelled bad, looked bad, just didn't have any potential, it looked like. But what happened is some people came in and saw the possibility of this coffee shop. And that's really what so much of this process is about. The ability to look at something the way it is now and see what it can be transformed into in the future. It's especially important for a place like 46807 that has all these old structures, things that have changed over the years, and people have found a new use for something that had a use in the past. Think about how that happens. It happens because somebody has an idea. And from that idea, they have a conversation with a person. They have a conversation with a few more people. And that group of people starts to coalesce around an idea. And before long, something happens. And you go from an old brick building to a great coffee shop. That's what this process is about. Everything we see in the human world comes from ideas. A chair, a camera, a restaurant, a city, a form of government, a musical, whatever. It's an idea. And it's an idea that somebody holds on to long enough that they start to talk to others about it. They start to make something happen with it. And that idea begins to gather energy and eventually takes form. And that's really what this process is designed to do, to allow people to express those ideas to each other, then make one or two connections, then a few more connections, and before long, we see it take form, and it's a transformed area of a city that we see in the end that started with an idea in somebody's head. Now we're here at a place called the Fillmore on Broadway, and it's a place that's been through lots of incarnations, and the current one is just beautiful. It's a venue where they bring in some national acts. There have been some great jazz and blues acts that come here. Sometimes they have wedding receptions here. And it's just this wonderful space of color, local art that's up on the walls, and just a magical spot that was created out of something that, like a lot of places, was once an abandoned building. Before that, it was a XXX theater. But somewhere in the midst of that was this space. With the space and some ideas combined with it, this great venue was created. And that's what this process is about. Seeing something, seeing a space, seeing a possibility, and then pursuing that possibility and making it a reality. You probably have some ideas about how a great area like 46807 can be even better in the future. If you keep those to yourself, that's all it's going to be, an idea that you keep to yourself. But if you bring that idea out, bring that light forward, share it with a few other people, then some things might start to happen. No guarantees, but if you don't do that, it's guaranteed that it won't happen. So please, get involved in the process, bring your ideas to the table, let's see what happens together. So hopefully you're looking at this saying, how do I get involved in this process? Because it sounds pretty exciting. Well, if you're a part of 46807, you live here, you work here, go to school, go to church, have some connection with '07, you can be involved. Here's some of the ways. You can go to a training where you can learn how to conduct interviews. And if conducting interviews sounds a little formal and cold, what it really is go to a training to learn how to have very positive conversations with people about the future of this area. You could also just say, I want to be interviewed. Maybe you don't want to conduct the interviews, but just want to talk to somebody about it. We'll also have some sessions where people come together in a very exciting and dynamic process called open space to create ideas and plans for transforming this area. But whatever you choose to do, get involved in some way. Even if it's just talking to your neighbors about what can we be in the future as this great area called 46807, that's involvement, that's important, and that's what will create the best community we can possibly have in the future. One of the things that people want to know about this process is what's the result going to be? We don't know. And we can't know because it's going to come out of the conversations people have, the ideas that come out of those conversations, and then the plans that start to emerge from those. Beyond that, it's whether people have the energy to pursue those plans. This whole process has been done many places around the country. One was down at the Near East Side in Indianapolis. They came up with lots of plans, but what they did won't be what we came up with. They came up with one wonderful thing. That was to push forward with an idea of a food co-op because they had lost lots of groceries in the area. Now, we probably won't end up with a food co-op in our area, but we'll end up with something just as exciting as a new business like that. But we don't know what it will be. It's a process of discovery.